want you to imagine something with me. Imagine you're a dog that hasn't met very many people, and then suddenly one day someone walks up to you and slips something over your head. Wouldn't you be frightened beyond belief? Unfortunately, we tend to do this a lot with our dogs. You want to go for a walk? Boom! Harness and leash are on. Fido, sit still. I'm trying to put your harness on. Don't you know that's a good thing for you? No, not at all. We should not be assuming our dogs are okay with this. I'm sure that's why you're watching this video today. Either your dog is already afraid of either the harness or leash, or you have a dog or puppy that you want to prevent that from happening to. Either way, this video is for you. For more videos just like this one, subscribe and hit that bell. Whichever scenario you are in, I have great news for you. I have a plan to teach, or in some cases reteach, your dog to like the harness. In some cases, they might even come to love it. Now, before we begin, I want to address the why. Why does your dog get scared when you put his harness on? Why does your dog run away and hide when you say it's time to go for a walk? The why is a very important part of creating a great training plan. This is because we're looking at the reason behind actions that our dogs might do. Once we find out the reason behind it, or the why, we can create a much more strong training plan that's much more likely to work. Your dog doesn't like the leash or harness. This is probably because he does not have a positive C.E.R, which means conditioned emotional response to it. And it might have been because you just didn't know that he was scared that you kept putting the harness and leash on him. To create a positive C.E.R for the harness and leash, we are going to use counter conditioning and desensitization. We're going to start with the leash first, but even if your dog isn't afraid of the leash, I still suggest you briefly go over this because it is going to be helpful when introducing the harness. To start your desensitization training with the leash, you're going to want to start with the collar grab game. For those of you who have no clue what I'm talking about, I'll have a link in the description and one right up here so that you can watch that video. We teach the collar grab game so our dogs aren't afraid when we're reaching for their collar to clip on their leash. And for best results, even after you train the collar grab game, you're going to want to occasionally give your dog a cookie when you grab his collar. Next step is to create a positive C.E.R for the leash. You're simply gonna grab the leash and feed your dog a cookie. Now here's a point where a lot of people make a big mistake. They present the food before they touch the leash. This doesn't work. It's like Pavlov and his dogs. He rang the bell and then gave his dogs food. This made the dogs salivate when they heard the bell. Whereas he tried it the other way and gave them food and then rang the bell, and the dogs didn't salivate after many repetitions. So as you see, the mechanics of your training matters. Leash, say cookie, and then give your dog his reward. That is a very important thing to remember. You'll also want to hold onto your leash until your dog finishes chewing his cookie, and then you can drop and repeat. Now we're going to put the two together. Pick up leash, say cookie, deliver the reward. Collar grab, say cookie, deliver the reward, and use the hand that's holding your leash to deliver it to your dog. Repeat over and over, and then eventually you can add in to where when you collar grab, you clip on the leash, feed the treat, and while the dog's chewing, you unclip the leash, and you keep repeating that over and over again too. Alright, so now you have a dog that's at least liking, if not loving, his leash. We're now working on harness desensitization. Now we're going to create a loop with the leash and hold it up, say cookie, and deliver it to our dog through the whole of the loop of the leash. Keep repeating until your dog gets really excited when you hold up the leash. Now we're going to add some motion to our leash. Slowly bring it to your dog part way, feed him his treat, and then pull it back after he finishes chewing, and slowly work your way up until you can get it up and over your dog's head. Now, harnesses are awkward for most dogs because, not necessarily because they're heavy, but they weigh something, right? And so we're going to start by laying a hand towel over our dog's back and then rewarding for that. We're going to go slow though, so we're going to do it just like we did the loop leash where we bring it close and then we reward. Closer, reward. And then so on until you get it on his back. Make sure to give your dog a jackpot when it touches his back. Now it should be pretty smooth sailing from here, right? Well, it depends. A dog who practically had a phobia of the harness might take a lot longer, and you might also want to consider getting a completely different shaped harness so that there's less of a negative C.E.R. to the harness. It'll give you more of a fresh start, and it'll be easier to get the positive C.E.R. If you stay with your old harness, it won't be impossible, but it will be a lot harder. Keeping your old harness is just takes longer for something that could have a quicker fix. Anyways, we're gonna repeat these same exact steps with the harness this time. Step 1 is pick up your harness and deliver your dog a reward through the head hole. Remember to keep your harness in your hand until your dog finishes chewing. Slowly bring it closer and closer to your dog, of course remembering to take it slow and give them treats. Practice up and over the head, and then practice setting it on your dog's back. You want to give it, set it on your dog's back, give a cookie, and immediately take it off, and keep repeating that. If your dog is scared of the sound that the buckle on your harness makes, then take it off your dog and buckle it, and when it clicks, you say cookie, give your reward, and then start over. Now you also need to remember that when you unbuckle your buckle, it's going to make a clicking sound, and so you're going to want to reward your dog on when you're buckling it and unbuckling it. After you condition that, you can incorporate it into the harness work you already did.
Cookie. Search. Go, go.
And boom, you have a dog that likes or possibly loves his harness and leash. While none of this is rocket science, it's important that you go slow so that your dog is comfortable with the whole process. I also want to point out that these sessions should be short and fun. Keep them under 5 minutes long and make sure to keep them upbeat. You'll also want to end your sessions on a high note. So if your dog does something amazing and like go learn something new, like gets comfortable with a new step, give him lots of praise and be all fun and end the session there. I know it can be so hard to do this, but trust me, it will make the process go along a lot faster. I found that a lot of people can get bored and then in turn don't act as fun in their training sessions when it comes to cooperative care exercises like this one. Not only are you bored now, but that's going to make your dog bored. There is no way that you can build a positive C.E.R. if you're not positive and happy yourself. That is all for this video, guys. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you can hear about new videos just like this one. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next video.